In this video, we're going to be using Catie's Bubbles, Siberian Sunrise, and the Pearl Flexi Razor for the first time. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I am your host CDB. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. As always, before we get into the content, a word from our sponsor, Leaf. This video is brought to you by our good friends at Leaf, and you know I love Leaf products. I love using the Leaf, which you've seen me use many times on the channel. I also love using the Twig. You've seen that a lot on the channel as well. If you'd like to save 5%, use discount code IAMCDB right there and save 5% while shopping with the good folks at Leaf. And now, back to the video. And all right, folks, we are back and welcome in. We have a good one for you today. As mentioned before, we're going to be using Catie's Bubbles Siberian Sunrise. And this was kindly sent to me by Lather. I will link his channel below. First, let's talk about cost. This comes to you for $20 for 4 ounces, and on our cost chart there, that is in the pricier range of $5 an ounce. We give that a score of 2 out of 5. The scent on this is very nice to my nose. I'm going to put the scent description for you on the screen right there. They describe it as a lemony punch in the face with Litsia, tea tree, and peppermint. I like it a lot. I give it a score of 4.5 out of 5. To my nose, it's very refreshing. I really like it. The scent strength on this is right in that medium range. We give that a score of 4 out of 5. And this is, of course, in Catie's Bubbles vegan base, and I will put the ingredients for you on the screen right there. Some of the older bases like this tend to fluff up a little bit, and they will build volume very easily. But to get it creamy, you need to add water slowly and just sort of work it. I'll show you a lather shot right there. I had no problems making a super creamy lather, but you do have to work on it just a little bit. So ease of use for me on this one is 4 out of 5. And we look forward to using this today because it smells great. It smells nice and refreshing, and maybe we'll get some cooling for it, or at least I hope. The razor for today was kindly sent to me by the inspector from the Inspector's Den, and this is the Pearl Flexi razor, which is similar to the Rex Ambassador, only it is much cheaper. This runs in America between $70 and $80 typically. It's made of brass. It is adjustable, as you can see right there, and it looks a lot like the Ambassador, but this one, I think the handle is a little more chunky, and it's definitely heavy. It's about 140 grams on my scale, or 4.9 ounces, making it quite heavy indeed. It's built like a tank, very nicely built. The knurling is not super grippy, but it's grippy enough. It's certainly not equivalent to the Rex in terms of how grippy their knurling is, but for me, I don't have a problem with slipping typically with razors, so I'm not concerned about that. And they have made like 6 or 7 versions of this. I know the razor company, the last version they sold was version 6, so I'm not sure if they have more, but at least 6 versions. And I saw this for sale at Maggard's. However, I'll link the Pearl website below for you. I think the razor company was sold out of version 6. I think Maggard had version 4. So they've had several iterations of this. A little bit of quality control problems early on, but they've worked to sort of get this razor right, I am told, and so we look forward to using this today. And this is made in India, by the way, and it's a nice looking razor, I have to say. So let's get started today. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. We're starting by just misting the face. This is just plain water, and our lather has been sitting for just a little bit, so I need to whip it up here just a little bit. And it is a nice lather, and it smells great, so I'm really looking forward to this today. Once you get the Catie's Bubbles lathered properly, it should be plenty slick enough and provide all the qualities you need. It might not be quite as dense and heavy as some of the other soaps, but it's going to be more than adequate. It's still a very good quality soap, in my opinion. It will hit the spot here today, I'm sure. If I'm good, the soap will surely be good. It's really up to me when it comes down to it. And we're looking forward to using the Pearl today, the Flexi. And the reason I didn't buy this razor is because I already had the Ambassador, and it's very similar to that. And I think they're both based on the vintage Gibbs design. So they're both sort of inspired from a vintage adjustable razor, and I didn't see any need to add this one. But since the inspector was kind enough to send it my way, I'm surely going to use it and give my thoughts on it. And it is a fraction of the price of the Ambassador. That's one of the biggest differences. However, I think you'll find the Ambassador's build qualities, it's stainless steel. The build quality is going to be better on the Ambassador, but this razor, I'm thinking, is going to shave very nicely. But we won't know until we use it, so let's get into the shave. That's what it's all about. All right, let's see. Let's start out on setting 1, and then we'll just sort of work our way up. I do like that you could see that adjustment pretty easy on this razor. So let's start with setting 1. And the range on this razor, by the way, I wrote it down somewhere. The blade gap starts at 0.25 and it goes all the way up to 1.0 millimeters. So pretty good range of adjustment on this razor, which I like. And those first few strokes feel very nice. This is a very heavy razor. It almost feels like it's one of those little ball ping hammers, the weight, you know, so it's quite a weighty little rascal. But it feels good so far, I have to say. And those first few strokes feel very nice. The blade in this razor is a Gillette Nasset on its first use. So we have a brand new blade pairing with our Pearl Flexi here. That feels pretty good, I have to say. Again, if you are, the one thing that I would say right out of the gate, this razor is heavy. If you are averse to heavy razors, this might not be for you. However, if you find yourself really liking substantial razors in weight, you may love this, so keep that in mind. I don't have the Ambassador with me, but this feels to me, based on my memory of the Ambassador, to be heavier. And it is brass as well, so that's something to consider. It's a different material. But it looks like the build quality, at least on this one that I'm holding, is pretty good. I couldn't see anything wrong with it. I was looking at the blade gap and I was sort of messing around with it because I know some of the early versions had some issues where when you adjusted it, the blade gap didn't stay consistent. But this one, I didn't see any issues with it. That said, I didn't put it under a microscope, but I did sort of look at it and then load a blade and adjust it, and it looked like everything was fine with this particular one. Although I do know early on, at least, I saw a number of videos where people were showing little defects in the razor. But I imagine that they've gotten a lot of that stuff worked out by now, or at least I would hope. Now, when I was looking at the website, they do have a guarantee on this razor, but it's only good for the first person who buys it. So in other words, if you buy it at retail, the warranty is good, but it doesn't extend to you if like someone gives it to you or you buy it secondhand. So keep that in mind. They may not honor the warranty if you buy someone's and there's something wrong with it, at least according to the website. Now, on the other hand, they might go ahead and help you out anyway just because they care about customer satisfaction. I don't know. I haven't dealt with the folks at Pearl, but the website pretty much says you need to register it within 1 month of purchase, and the warranty is only good for the original buyer. So keep that in mind if you're buying one of these secondhand. If there's a problem, they may not help you out with that. Now, I prefer companies that stand behind their razors and policy, but it's not necessarily uncommon to warranty razors only for the first buyer. And I am getting some cooling from this, and I like it. This soap smells great to me. Thank you, John Latherhawk, for sending this my way. This is right up my alley. I'm liking it a lot. Getting a little cooling, probably from that peppermint and tea tree, excuse me. So on second pass, let's go up to 3. And it goes up to 6. So second pass will go 3. Third pass will go 6. And we'll just see how it goes. So I'm expecting a little more efficiency now, of course, which I tend to like. And let's see how that feels. Yes, you can definitely feel it. I'd say the range on this razor is going to go from that first setting. It did not feel menacing, but it felt decent. It was doing some work even on that number 1 setting. But on 3 here, you can definitely feel increased efficiency, no doubt. And that's what you want from an adjustable razor. If you're adjusting the razor and it doesn't feel any different, you know, maybe it's not doing that much. But this one feels good. I have to say, no complaints in the way this razor is allowing me to shave so far. Feels like it's doing a good job. I would say it's probably just a slightly heavy for my taste, but it's not off-putting. It's not to the degree that it's off-putting. It's just slightly more heavy than I would like, but it's not off-putting. If this were slimmed down just a little bit, I think I would like it more, but I'm liking it so far, I gotta say. I didn't know what to expect. When the inspector said he was sending this razor, I said, well, that'll be interesting because, you know, I've seen a lot of people really love this razor, and then I've seen some who had quality control problems and they didn't like it at all, or at least the early versions. Now, I do know in all those cases where I saw folks who had problems early on, Pearl worked with them to provide them with razor, at least the ones I saw on YouTube. Pearl was pretty, they worked with those people to get them squared away. So I can't speak for every person who got one of these razors, but of the ones I saw on YouTube who had problems, I think Pearl worked that out. So that's always good. I have to say the first 2 passes with this razor, nice shaver so far. Really no complaints. Any complaint I would have so far would be just user preference, like the weight's a little bit much. The handle is just a little bit chunky, but it's a good shaver. I mean, legitimately. And the Ambassador is what? $250. This one's like 70 to 80. So if you're on an extreme budget, or if you're on a budget generally, not just extreme, because 70 to $80 is still, you know, that's a fair amount of money, but it's not $250. So the differences in the razors for me, the knurling on the Ambassador is just, it's considerably better. But I would say when it's just coming down to the shave here, you know, I can't say that the Ambassador shaves better than this one. The build quality is probably better. It's stainless steel, it's made in the United States, blah, 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 blah. You can expect the build quality to be better on a razor that costs, you know, 2.5 times as much or whatever that comes to. But I have to say, this is not a bad shaver, at least based on very limited use here. Man, this soap is not bad either. I'm enjoying it. I love the scent of this, and I love the cooling I'm getting. It's very nice. So Lather Hog, thank you again. I like this soap a lot. Very nice indeed. I've really enjoyed it. All right, let's get this third pass out of the way so we don't take all day. And by the way, for those of you who are still with me, and I know a lot of people drop off and they don't watch the entire video, but for those of you who are here, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. So Mom got her stem cell transplant on Tuesday, and it was just via an IV. They just literally bring the cells in an IV, and they sort of celebrate your new birthday. It's very, very interesting because you're getting new cells, and it's like your birthday all over again. You're being reset, so to speak, and now we're just waiting to see what happens, you know. Sometimes there's reactions to that, fevers, all sorts of other things. So we're just hoping that that will go well, and that the transplant will do what we hope it will do. And so fingers crossed on that. But she has gotten the transplant, and now it's a matter of waiting. There's a little more chemo to do, and there's some hurdles that remain, but we've cleared the initial ones at least. So that's good. I say on 5, this is nice. And by the way, I did 6 actually. It's on 6, not 5. Sorry. I was mid-thought in one thing and then saw the razor and it was like, squirrel, you know. So sorry about that. But anyway, we are hopeful and we'll remain optimistic. And we'll just keep pressing on. But I wanted to bring you all up to date because those of you who are still here are probably aware of, you know, the cancer situation. So thought I would keep you up to date on that. So on 6, feels still very nice to me. Doesn't feel overly aggressive, but a razor has to be really super blade feely for it to feel overly aggressive to me. This one feels nice and smooth, even cranked all the way up. At some point when I get home, I will compare this razor to my Ambassador, and then we'll give you a sort of a much better comparison. You know, we know cost is a big difference. We know the materials are quite different. But how do they shave? That's really what I'm interested in. And I have to say, from the perspective of the shave, this has been a fine shaver today. You know, no problems whatsoever. So keep that in mind. I've had a good run with it today. No complaints whatsoever with the Pearl Flexi. All right, let me rinse and then we'll come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. And all right, we are back, and off camera did a rinse to get rid of the soap, and then we applied our PAA alum. After applying the alum, there was no stinging, so super smooth shave. No nicks, cuts, creepers, weepers, irritation, bubbles, or troubles. Very nice shave indeed. Following the alum, we did another rinse, and then we towed off with our Lancaster towel prior to using the Magic Made by Witches Thayer's Witch Hazel Cucumber. We had an excellent shave today with Catie's Bubbles Siberian Sunrise, and we'll run down the scores for you. Cost 2 out of 5. Scent quality 4.5 out of 5. Scent strength 4 out of 5. Ease of use 4 out of 5. Overall quality 4.5 out of 5, and that brings us to a total score of 19 out of 25. I really enjoyed this soap, and thanks to Lather for sending it. Very nice, very refreshing. I enjoyed this one a lot. I also enjoyed the Pearl Flexi that was sent to me by the inspector from the Inspector's Den. I'll link his channel below, along with Lather. Very nice, smooth shaver. I really can't find any faults at all with this particular version of the Flexi. I don't know which version it is, but it is well built, or at least from what I can see. I know the internal components are different from the Rex, but in terms of shaving, this was a very, very nice shaver. The only people that I would steer away from this are people who don't like heavy razors. If you don't like heavy razors, this one is going to feel very heavy to you, but otherwise, really nice shaver, and I enjoyed my first use with it. We used our PAA Switchback 400 brush, and it's in our Lancaster Razorworks brush soaking mug, and we're going to close things out today once again with fine platinum, and today I'll try to keep the alcohol out of my eyes. The other day I splashed it so high up it was almost in my eyes. My eyes were watering like crazy, so let's try not to do that today. We don't need alcohol in the eyes. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh man, what a great shave it was today. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Till next time, I've been your host CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do your way, and as always, God bless.